we got a new one here. Fortune favors the bald.
What's up, guys?
Episode 4. Paul, good to see you. So we're just, like I said, Luke's a little preoccupied at the moment. So we're gonna go ahead and start this. Got a little intro for you guys, and then we'll get into the show.
All right.
Here we go.
Soundstripe. Gonna get a lot of dough. Anything is possible. Turn me up in the headphone. Soundstripe. Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of gold. Stack that bread and by my nose. Anything is possible. Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. So welcome, episode 4, Fortune Favors the Ball. And we got Paul here. So we got a good show. We're going to do some matchups, maybe a little call in.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there. So we'll go right into matchups first, kind of talk about what we think. Paul makes some predictions. We got Luke's predictions as well. Of course, we can't leave him out of this, even though he's...
I'm just a fill-in. Don't worry, guys. Luke will be back soon. Well, I know you'll want him back soon. Don't worry. But as a commissioner, I felt like it was my duty to step in. So, and we all knew that Wirt wasn't going to show up if we asked him.
Absolutely,
so,
absolutely. So, Eli. All right. So let's go straight to matchups here. So we'll start with the first one here. Of course, it's
big time matchup.
Big time matchup here. We got the 0-2 Cody's 0-2 team versus my 0-2 team. Of course, this one made an early trade early on. David Montgomery's been playing really well for Cody. Yep. I think that's a good trade. Look, Trey McBride's one of the best tight ends right now.
That's true. He's
finally
looking good.
So I'm liking that trade, and I'm liking my team on this one. I think I take a dub here. Get on the winning side.
I went with Cody. I think that looking at his team, his tight end strat is going to work out well for him this week. And I think Luke had you winning as well.
Yeah, Luke's got me winning on this one. So that's and what we'll do, Paul. So sorry, I'm kind of pointing up there, but we got Luke as of last week 7-5. He had a big week. I think he was 5-1 last week. I was 3-3 last week, so I dropped to 7-5. America, which was Jamaica, was 5-1. So great predictions last week. So what we'll do is we'll include Paul's in America's this week, as well as Jamaica's predictions. Okay. So that will actually be even with us on that one. So that'll be good. So moving on to the next one, we got Luke and Colby. Luke and Colby. So it's a big hitter match here. And Colby, 135.6 projected.
I'm telling you. And Luke's taking some hits.
He
lost a wide receiver. Tua went out. So, who knows which he does have A-chain. They're going to run the ball.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to which two running backs perform for the other team the best.
I think Kyron's got a pretty tough matchup this week. So,
he does.
Yeah, I won't see that.
But they don't have the wide receivers. They're going to run the ball.
You're right.
Granted, their line's hurt. So, who knows?
Luke 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
With Puka Nacua going down, Cooper Kupp just having 21 targets in the first game or something like that, and then of course now he's got hurt
and maybe out the rest of the season.
Yeah, 2 is out. So Tyreek and Waddle. I know you got Waddle. We'll talk about that. Yeah. But Tyreek going down. He's going to take some hits from Skylar Thompson throwing back there.
I'm sure Breece Hall's probably racking up a bunch of yards this or tonight, but. I still think Colby actually comes out with a win here.
You think Colby comes out?
Yeah, I think Colby
I agree with you. I think Colby takes this one.
And Luke also picked Colby.
Luke picked against himself. He also picked Colby as well. All right.
He sees the writing on the wall.
Yeah. Next one, we got Cole. Big time Cole. 2-0 versus the 0-2, one of the 2 times Jared. This one's a good one.
This was Luke's game of the week, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
This was a big game.
Absolutely. So this one, Luke said that he was a little too close for him to pick. Luke actually did go with Cole.
He went.
He went with Cole.
Oh yeah, he did.
He went with Cole on this one. I am going to lean Jared. I think Jared gets his first dub on this one, and I think I think Cole barely slipped by me last week, but I think he takes a loss this week.
I went with Jared as well. I think if Cole would have started Patrick Mahomes over Baker Mayfield, he might win this game. But him starting Baker, not a good idea in my opinion.
Baker. All right, next one. We got JT Boy and your commissioner, Paul. All right, the big 2-0s.
Yeah. I'm sorry, JT. Hate to do this to you this week.
You got JT.
Kyron Williams out. I mean, not Kyron. The running back.
Kenneth Walker out.
Yeah. He didn't practice again today. So Charbonnet in again. I just made a trade. We'll see. We'll see if that works out for me. Yeah. So we'll see if Rico Dowdle takes over the one slot.
I hope
there.
he doesn't.
I'm hopeful. Maybe he'll take over the one slot there in Dallas.
Yeah. Luke also has Paul winning this one. I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm gonna pull for you, JT Boy. I gotta. Luke caught me last week, so I gotta maybe try to change it up a little bit. I got JT Boy here winning this one.
Easy dub.
Easy. All right, we got Pete Diddy, Sean versus Jamike. All right, next one.
Jamike, go ahead and send your video in if you don't care.
Jamike, Jamike, we appreciate you. And look, CMC, you know, I'm sure he's coming back at some point. At some point, you know, and you know, you've had probably one of the worst droughts, injury bugs I've ever seen. I think Sean takes this one.
I think he might rethink his strategy of not carrying the backup. You know, because he's told me before, I don't carry backups. So he might rethink that after this year. Yeah,
and this is Luke's lock of the week for Sean. Yeah. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. And hey, you know, Jamike might surprise us. I don't see it on this one.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I think Sean wins pretty easily.
Yeah. All right. And we got our last game here. This is a big rivalry. People aren't talking about this as much as we did.
You're right.
But we got Wirt and Dan. Of course,
we hadn't heard much from Wirt.
We haven't. No, and not really a word from Dan either. But we got Wirt and Dan here. Wirt's projected pretty big to win this one. I'm gonna go ahead and make my prediction here. I do think Wirt wins this one. I think he probably wins by.
I've got Wirt winning this one as well.
Yeah. And Luke also picks Wirt as well. So that's 3 for Wirt. Sorry, Dan. You know, I don't think, you know, Caleb Williams.
He's got Aaron Rodgers going right now. I think he had a touchdown earlier, but you know.
I think, Aaron Rodgers still kind of warming up to that offense still. I mean, being out a whole year last year.
Right.
But I think it was smart to bench Caleb Williams. I don't think he's got it quite yet in that offense.
He hasn't figured it out.
Yeah. So those are our, I don't think I mixed one. No, I didn't. So those are our predictions right there. Of course, we'll update the scores next week. So speaking of Jamike, we do have, you know, we appreciate you, Jamike, sending in the video to me. So this is a 2-parter. So Jamike, he sent me the predictions and the chug videos separately. Now I will apologize. It's not your internet. It's probably Jamike's. There's one video that's a little blurry. Sorry, Jamike. I know it looks good on your end, but here's we'll start with the. I can't remember which one.
This is week 2's chug. I think what I'm gonna start doing is just get like 10 of these done and out of the way, so that I can forward them to Trenton later on in the future. Probably easiest for me. So bottoms up.
All right, thanks, Jamike. So that was a great video. So we'll, you know, chug wise, what do you think about that?
You know, it reminded me a little bit of a pageant with a toe hike. You know, there at the end you watched. You know, it reminded me of watching Beth out on the stage.
Wow.
You know, so you know,
elegant and graceful.
I thought it was nice, Jamike.
Luke with the great his legs are starting to look good. I agree. So Jamike it looks like he's more from just arms, adding maybe a little bit of chest, and now we're on to the legs. So that's good. But no, not a bad pull from Jamike there. I think that was not a bad chug. So now we're moving on to his predictions here. A little bit grainy of a video, you know, bear with us, but I think he makes some good points here.
Hey everybody, sorry this is in 2 parts. Like I said, I'm going to start pre-recording my Chug videos, just getting them out of the way for the rest of the season. I'm a 13-hour shift and a margarita deep, so it's time for our matchup reviews. This week we've got me versus Sean. I think we know how this one's going to go. You know, I'm not expecting a comeback for me anytime soon. Sean's team didn't initially love it after the draft, but it's been performing pretty well. I got Sean this week. Luke versus Colby. 2 good teams, pretty good matchup. Colby's team is another one I didn't love right after the draft, but there were some injuries to players that he capitalized on. He's got a really good team, but I think Luke might actually barely edge him out this week. JT and Paul. JT's been named Jamike the Scrub for like 3-4 years now, so I gotta go Paul. That's just, man, that's rough this week. Cole versus Jared. It's another one where Jared is projected for higher, but I think I'm going to go with the underdog on. I think I've got Cole this week. Mark Andrews, he may be back. Wirt versus Dan. What a showdown. They said that they made it up. The beef never really left. And this week, I think I got to go with Wirt. Sorry, Dan. Last matchup of the week, we got Cody versus Trenton. Again, interesting lineup. Cody still rocking 2 tight ends in his starting lineup, and Trenton has sent me like 3 more trades since the last 5 trades. So, I don't know. I may go Cody. That two tight end strat this year. I think it's going to work out for him. All right. See you guys next week.
Thanks, Mike. That was a great one. And one day, hopefully, you will respond to my trades for Christian McCaffrey. But until
Might help
then,
you out.
yeah. Until then,
Think about it.
Yeah, I don't know. They'll keep getting worse and worse. I promise you. All right. Well, that was. What do you think about those predictions? I mean, pretty similar to ours.
Yeah. His prediction of Jared, I thought he said, didn't he say Jared would win?
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I think that's again is pretty good game this week as the Jared and Cole matchup. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking of Jared, so we do have a little call-in segment here with one of the 2 times. So we're gonna give him a ring and see what he has to say.
What is up? What is up? What is up?
What is up? Jared, you are live. Fortune favors the ball.
Can y'all hear me pretty good?
Yeah, I can hear. We can hear you pretty good. You hear us?
Yes, I can hear y'all. I can hear myself too.
Yeah, it's probably going to. You're going through the stream.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna hear myself think here.
Hold on. Let me see if I can mute you
right.
real quick on this.
Yeah. Let's see if you can make that work, my boy.
Does that help? Does that help at all?
I can't hear y'all now.
Okay. Well, it didn't work, so we have to bear with me on this one.
All right, I'm gonna bear with this situation. All right, this week, I told y'all said you wanted to know who the first was. It's here. Time. You guys ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
So here's the thing about funniest. It's hard to quantify.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I had to do some research. I learned some things. And I did the types of humor, types of funny. You got like aggressive humor, you got dry humor.
Mm-hmm.
You got stuff that lifts people up, stuff that lifts people's down, tear down.
Right.
So it was really hard. I tried my best here, and I tried to be as objective as possible. And I'm hearing myself scream, but keep going. So let me get my list together here.
Yeah.
All right. So I like to give an overview of our friend group. Okay. Most of our focus is on enhancing our relationships with each other instead of enhancing oneself with our humor. Okay. And we usually focus on self-defeating humor instead of self-enhancing
Absolutely
humor. Okay. We got A, B, C, D, and E. Okay. Didn't think there was a tier. I think it's also worth noting that I think we're all pretty funny. You know, we all have similar humor. That's why we're in the same friend group, you know.
Yeah,
so let's get right into it. Let's not make this 10 minutes, okay? All right. A group, okay? These two people, they're funny in any environment.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need any setup. They're naturally funny, and they usually lead the humor, okay? At my top of my list, I got Cody B and Dan.
Of course. Yeah. Solid.
Okay. Now, both these two have expressed humor that is usually uplifting. You know, Dan is more of a magnet style comedian, you know, while Cody is more of like stand-up style, you know, not super witty, but very aggressive and expressive and going. You know, Dan is less likely to use controversial and aggressive humor than Cody, like I said, but, you know, both are very outgoing. Thoughts on those two guys?
No, I think that's, especially with Cody up there.
Yeah,
that's
I knew Cody would be, you know, I do think Cody kind of could be in a league of his own. I don't get to hang around Dan as much, so I haven't got to see that aspect of him. But I trust your judgment on that one.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Moving into B. We also have two names here. Now, these two, they're funny in most things, but, you know, they do exceptionally well with specific scenarios, you know. Those two people, and I got one that's not in the league. We got Eli Reardon.
Ooh.
Oh, I like it.
What a big pull.
And Cole Morgan. Okay, so Cole is like a mix of the two mentioned above. So you got Cody and Dan, you know. While Eli, he's more like a sniper. Comedian, lurking, waiting for the right comedic device to develop. You know, it's something to become relevant so he can hit a famous one-liner. You know, he's just lurking shadows, waiting to like destroy you and your whole life, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's good at it.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that, guys?
Solid.
100%. I mean, the sniper analogy was spot on.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the comments here, I mean, he was saying that Cody's looks certainly help his humor rating. And you know, that couldn't be more accurate.
All right, moving on to you guys. I also have two in C tier. Okay, I got your boy Jared, and I got Luke.
All right.
Okay, now Jared usually aggressive, has an expressive style, but is less effective than some tiers above. You know, humor gets lost in intent sometimes, maybe trying a little too hard. Like I said, sometimes I try too much. It doesn't work out, maybe offends somebody. It's definitely not reserved when it could be better.
Okay.
Luke, some of the best sarcastic. Yeah, I can't talk to hear myself.
Yeah, that's right.
That's good prank humor, you know, but less likely to initiate humor and more likely to play with it.
That's what I was going to say.
But
Luke,
definitely
Luke's
is a
really
primary on a lot of pranks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, guys?
Yeah, I was going to agree. Luke, when he gets rolling, when he can go off of someone and they can go back and forth, he does a really good job of rolling with it.
All right, moving on to D tier. We got three. Okay, we got Wirt, top witty and dry humor, but often does too much like Jared. Okay, we got Trenton. You know, he's witty like Wirt, but a little less aggressive.
Okay,
but he's up there.
All right.
Okay, Cold Beer. D tier here. He's physically funny. You know, he's easy to vibe with and cut with. You know, and everybody's got like an image of Colby in their head, like rolling his ankle for no reason. And I just felt like that was valuable, and he needed to be above the rest that there have yet to be named.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thoughts, guys?
No, I think that's spot on.
I think Colby could even be higher if he'd send in his video.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely. He could do a lot of things to be higher on these lists, that including the video. But no, Colby's always bringing a smile to my face, and whether that's humor, or the way he does something, it's always funny, and I appreciate that about Colby.
All right, last tier, E tier. There's 4 names in here. I didn't give as much on these people. I like to say that we're all funny in our own way, and no one in this group is lame or anything. But there's tiers. I gotta have respect to my name. I gotta have people at the bottom.
Exactly.
So I got 4 names. I got Sean. I got Paul, JT Boy, and Jamal. And these people are great, but I just don't see them as the top comedians in the group. Thoughts, guys?
I was just glad to make the list. That's all I'm saying.
I personally think Sean should be higher. I think Sean is a very dry. He brings jokes in quietly sometimes that are just bangers that he might not feel confident enough to say out loud. And then people like me or you, Jared, the comments are saying you, to come in, swipe that joke up, and it's hilarious for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Sean is a funny guy.
Yeah.
You got to give him his credit.
I can see that.
JT.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. I'll let y'all discuss.
We don't ever hear from JT.
Yeah.
So, how do you know if he's funny or not?
But no, that's a great list. I think that was overall a pretty solid list.
Appreciate it, boys. Thank y'all for having.
Yeah.
Of course, Jared. Thank you.
Peace.
Peace. All right.
It was nice.
Yeah,
good list.
Yeah, D tier. Again, if we're ranking it, I'm sure it's probably really funny is up here, and then the tiers are just kind of separated.
And everybody has their days too.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
Yeah. So.
But overall, it was a good lesson. We always appreciate the.
Absolutely. Can't wait for next week.
Absolutely.
Can't wait for Luke to be sitting here, not me.
We'll get you and Wirt here, an official debate maybe.
It is past my bedtime, so, we're lucky that I am here tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
we have a comment here from Luke. We want to give you the floor maybe. You kind of see what your vision is for the league.
Oh, Luke, you just had to come in, didn't you?
Why Wirt sucks. We're giving you the option, maybe 30 seconds, a minute.
I do, let's being honest, Wirt seems more like a dictator. I'm more of the people. I'm more for the people, whereas Wirt's just come in with an iron fist and try and rule the league. And I don't think the league wants that, That's just my opinion. Wirt's going to try and push you to who wants to eat McDonald's when we can have chicken wings.
Yeah.
That's Wirt and his McDonald's. I'm not going to push McDonald's on you guys.
Yeah.
I see the league. We've really grown. We've gotten through some terrible times, some terrible, but memorable.
Oh,
people,
absolutely.
Without Ham, we wouldn't have a lot of great stories.
Yep.
But I didn't see Wirt helping us get through that. So, just what I'm going to say. Wirt, what have you done for the league?
Yeah.
That's my big question. What have you done for the league other than cause division?
Great points. Well,
that's right, Eli. Thank you.
Well, that should, anything else?
I'm good.
We've got our matchups. We got everything kind of going here. So,
y'all look forward to seeing Luke next week.
Yep.
Maybe you'll have the baby with him.
Yeah. So we had to start a little later this week. Yeah, Luke might bring old Owen here. That would be pretty great. But good luck this week, everybody. And
Screw you, JT.
JT. Thanks for tuning in.